What's up, y'all? Welcome to the Onyx Report, Black Masculinist News. Hope everything is well with you. Hope you're doing all right. Y'all saw the thumbnail. We're going to deal today with a Facebook post by a brother. It's public, so I'm assuming he doesn't mind his name getting out there. He calls himself Atlas Cloud. And he wrote a piece that really explains itself. And I thought it was important to read for a couple of reasons, aside from the fact that it was just a really well done analogy. But anyway, here he goes. He says, I had lunch with an associate today. She asked me why so many black men have such a problem with hair weaves on black women. She said hair weaves, seem to be convenient to her. Personally, I don't put much energy in that black female group addiction myself, but I explained it to her this way, since she asked. He says, this is what I said to her. Imagine you have a boyfriend who likes wearing baseball caps so much that he literally sews them to his head. Imagine he wore this hat every day, 24/7, to work and after work, never taking it off for a minute. Imagine he wore this hat when he went out with you to bars, where there's alcohol being served and the place is filled with cigarette smoke and numerous different smells which inevitably get trapped in the fabric of the hat. Yet he doesn't get rid of the hat. Imagine he wore that same hat to bed with you, has sex with you while still wearing the same hat that smells like everywhere you two have been. Yet he does not remove the hat even then. He simply forces you to work around it, smells and all. Imagine him wearing that hat in temperatures that soar above 100 degrees. He sweats, yet the hat stays on his head, as his hair underneath that hat soaks in his sweat, and when he showers, he simply covers his head so that his hat will not get wet. Imagine he needed to spray chemicals on that hat in order to mask the bad scents underneath it that has accumulated over the 2 months he's been wearing that hat. Sprays that are similar to what you would use on a dog when you don't have time to give it a proper bath, mind you. Imagine that the only time he removes that hat or washes his hair is when he buys a new hat to sew to his head, which is around every 4 to 6 weeks, which is the average time weaves are worn by the average black woman. Many even keep them in longer. After all that, imagine you ask him why he wears a hat that he never removes. Imagine you say to him, I would like to see your hair. That hat is so unnecessary. Imagine his response is, why are you worried about a man's hat? With a somewhat disgusted look on her face, she said to me, okay, I think I get it now. I said, okay. She couldn't finish her lunch. Now, I posted that. I just ran across it. Didn't write it. Don't know the guy who wrote it, but I found it interesting. And in one of the comments, this part I had to read because it caught me off guard. This is from a woman responding to the piece. She says, I went to get my hair done to a natural stylist, and she told me that she had to stop taking clients with weaves who decided to transition to their natural hair because the fungus beneath the weaves was so unbearable. Now, why did I read those two things? Am I interested in embarrassing black women? No. Shaming them, making fun of them, talking down to them, being derogatory toward them? No. I don't personally think, weaves are attractive, but so what? People do. It is what it is. My purpose in reading any of this is not for any of those conventional reasons. To be honest with you, it had more to do with the brother's response. See, I was born in the 70s, came into my young adulthood in the 80s and early 90s. And to be honest with you, it's only been in the last number of years that I've seen men starting to speak up about what they think in ways that we never would have imagined doing so in the 80s. Now, granted, you had your individual male here or there that was bold and said something, real in your face or whatever. But for the most part, we were fairly, urged on one level or another to be quiet, not really say that much. You know what I mean? We were urged to not say anything that might bruise the ego or frustrate black women in particular, but in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different arenas, we were told to just kind of be quiet, go along to get along. Shout out to Kwame. I like the fact that when asked, he didn't push his opinion on anybody. Someone asked him, He articulated himself so well that he was able to pull her into his experience to the degree that she couldn't do anything but be quiet. And truth be told, he really did that to me when I read it as well. But I mean, you know, I'm not a woman, so it's not necessarily a matter of, you know, hearing it from a man's perspective for the first time. It was really more a matter of hearing a brother explain it in a way that, you know, many of us have felt, but really haven't been able to put it together this way. I applaud not only his articulation and his courage in doing so, but more than that, I applaud what I'm seeing more of now than I ever have. Black men speaking up unapologetically about the things we think, feel, our politics, our life experiences, even our emotions. I'm actually very proud to see that. Now, I hope we can take it to a further step and it becomes part of a more purposeful strategy. But for the moment, I am simply glad to hear brothers articulate themselves regardless of the blowback, because it's been way too long. It's been confined to barbershops and other spaces that, like the locker room, but those things have been diminishing in frequency and for the most part have been maligned. And really, why are they maligned? Mainly because men have feelings and thoughts about things that are not politically correct. And we've been told that to do so, to share those thoughts and feelings, is a problem. Women, not so much. Women can make songs about it. Women can make movies about it. Women can make all kinds of things about their feelings about black boys and men. Men are supposed to be quiet. And any such critique is leveled or is viewed as an attack. When in actuality, it's just men expressing themselves. And when you lock something up for long enough, when it first opens up, it's going to be a bit explosive. And it is what it is. It'll level out. You know, and this is one of those kind of posts that lets you know how it's leveling out. This isn't pure rage. This isn't rage. This isn't fire and brimstone. This was level-headed, cool, analytical, reflective, and articulate. It just didn't prioritize women's feelings. It prioritized his and many other black men's. And that I applaud. So shout out to this brother. You know, did your thing. And I hope other brothers will follow suit, not in, you know, attacking people. And I don't believe that's what this is anyway, but just in articulating yourself, whether people like it or not. Because for black men, I think we've been silent far too long. All right, y'all. Hope you're well. Enjoy yourselves. See you tomorrow. Peace.